All right, you guys. So for multiplying and dividing fractions, it's actually a little simpler than what you think. For dividing, it gets a little more weird, okay? But we're gonna go over that in a second. The one rule you need to keep in mind for multiplying and dividing fractions is that when you multiply across. That means that the numerator interacts with the numerator while the denominator interacts with the denominator. All right, numerator and denominator. That's just fancy math language. Okay, fancy math language for what? Numerator is going to be the number on top, while denominator is going to be the number on the bottom. Okay, in other words, in this scenario, my numerators would be A and C. So A and C would be my numerators, while B and D would be my denominators. All right, so numbers on top, numerators, numbers on the bottom, denominators. Having that in mind, now we multiply across. So even in this example, I have A over B times C over D. What would this mean? Or what would this equal? See? So if I multiply across, that means I do A times C, so AC on top, and on the bottom I do B times D, BD. And that is for multiplying fractions, quite literally. See, numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. Let's see it in action. 1/2 times 3 over 4. So, what was the key rule? What was the key word? Across. You multiply across. 1 times 3 divided by 2 times 4. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 6. 8. See? And that is how you would multiply in that scenario. See? Here I can't keep simplifying prime numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, the key idea, multiply across. Alright? A lot of people here get confused like, oh, do I add the denominators? Like, how does that work? Blah, blah, blah. Alright. Um, you might be getting that confused with adding or subtracting fractions. See, the rules are a little bit different. I have a short video on that you can check it out. For dividing, it's a little bit different. It gets a little funky, okay? But the trick here, okay, the trick, I'm going to put it like whatever. The trick, okay, for dividing is that the division symbol means that you flip. So keyword here would be flip. See? Flip, like a backflip. All right, you turn it around, stuff like that. So 3 over 10 divided by 7 over 4 is actually the same as 3 over 10 times, yes, it did just change to times, times 4 over 7. So you flip it, okay? I think the fancy math language for that is the reciprocal. Point is, after you flip it, now you can multiply across, because now it's a multiplication problem, not a division one. See? So here we would do 3 times 4, which gives, this would equal 3 times 4, numerator with numerator, divided by 10 times 7, denominator with denominator. This gives me 12 divided by 70. Since they're both even, I can just divide by 2. So I can do 6 divided by 35. Again, I just divided by 2. And here, can I keep simplifying this? I don't think I can. Yeah, I would just leave it like that. So, point is, when you multiply, okay, the keyword is that you're doing it across. See? The ones on top with the ones on top, the ones at the bottom with the ones on the bottom. When you have to do the division, okay, the key idea is that you flip. So you're going to flip the 7 over 4. It turns into 4 over 7. See, notice how this changed to that. All right? Really take a moment to absorb that because it's very important that you do. And now I'm going to end up with... Actually, I'm just going to leave it there. See? That is how you multiply and divide fractions. I hope it helped. The key ideas are that you multiply across, and whenever you have to divide, you do the flip thing. All right? Take it easy. I hope it helped.